Hi everyone, you're at Home on the Tools with James. We're going to be working in the garage today, putting in an outdoor laundry. Let's go and take a look. So let's take a look at this space, and this is the front of my garage. So we've been in this house now for about 12 or 13 years, and during that time we've built out the laundry inside. We've done upgrades to the house, but one area that's sort of been neglected has been the garage. And we've got this empty space that sits in the front corner, and probably not dissimilar to everyone else's garage. There's quite a lot of clutter. So you can see I've dumped stuff on here, probably been a bit lazy, dumped stuff on the ground here, just out of shot. The garage has got racking in it, and it's full of stuff. So that's one point. So we want to get some storage into this space and get some solutions around how we can store some of the stuff that's in the garage that you do need for your cars and pumping up a footy or that type of thing. We need to have our bits and pieces in here, so we're going to look at some storage. The second piece is the outdoor laundry that I mentioned. So got a laundry inside with a washing machine, nice bench top, overhead cabinet, some really good storage, closed basket. So really done the job inside. But what it has done is hasn't given us any space to put a dryer, and we want a dryer. It's winter. We've got clothes horses up all through the house, airing out clothes, trying to get them dry, trying to get work shirts dry, trying to get towels dry, doonas dry. It's an absolute nightmare. So the space needs to contain a dryer. And I would like some bench space out here for working on some bits and pieces up in the garage when I don't feel like heading out to the shed. So that is what the project's going to entail. How we're going to do this. So I'm going to use products that I've used before in the house, and it's flat pack. So anyone can be a cabinet maker these days with the flat pack options that we've got available at Bunnings, Home Depot, the IKEAs. So anyone can do it. So we're going to do that. And we're going to do it with a particular brand called Kaboodle, which I've worked with before, and it's from Bunnings in Australia brand. It's not the cheapest out there. It is a little pricey, but it goes together really well. It's a brilliant finish, and it should look really sharp. So we're going to do some under bench storage, nice hardwood bench top. We'll get the dryer under the bench. We'll move the power point down and get it underneath, so we hide and tidy all that up. And then we'll do some overhead wall cabinets as well for some added extra storage. So it should come up really great. Before we head out and we go to Bunnings and we go get too carried away to go do shopping, we're going to make a list. So I'll talk through what I do when I'm doing any sort of project, what my pattern is, what planning I do before I jump into one of these. And the first things first is we always measure up. So measure up the space, see what we're working with, and then we go shopping on the website. We'll have a bit of a look. So I'll run you through what I do before I head out to Bunnings to go and buy all the things that we need to do the project. We've got the space all cleared up, ready to go. So what we want to do now is we want to measure up. So we'll measure up the space that we've got behind us here, and then that'll work out what type of cabinets we need. So there's a little bit of homework to do just before we head out to Bunnings. If you don't do this now, you're probably going to find yourself going back and forward to Bunnings or the hardware store, 3, 4, 5 times across your weekend to get things that you've forgotten. So great idea to make sure you measure up first. So what we'll do is we'll get the measurements. Once we've got the measurements of the area, then I'll show you what I do next before we head out. The other thing I'm going to do just before I head out as well is I've got myself a stud finder here. This is a Stanley stud finder, just a cheapie, runs with a 9-volt battery. But I'm actually going to identify in the wall here where I've got the studs. Because I'm going to be buying wall cabinets, I want to make sure that the cabinets that I'm buying, I am going to actually be able to affix to this wall without getting further hardware timber to make it work. If I'm lucky enough, there'll be enough studs throughout the wall, and I'll be able to go straight into the wall that I've got here without doing anything further. So got my stud finder, I'll mark out where the studs are, got the tape measure up the space, and then we'll go and have a bit of a look at the website before we head into the store. So just finished measuring up, and what we're left with is this wall, so where the plaster wall starts from the brickwork there, up into where the brickwork goes onto this side. We've got 187 centimetres, and then the brick itself is 12 centimetres wide. So I will be running the hardwood top all the way to the edge of the wall, so we'll have to account for that. So no dramas, we're working with about 2 meters all up for where we want to work with our base cabinets. Now for our wall cabinets up the top here, it's the same measurements. There's not as many studs in the wall as I would like. They are about 600 apart in the upper half of the wall. So it will work in with that. I'll show you some tips and tricks when I get up to putting those up. So basically 2 meter space. There's absolutely no problem with coming out 600 here. So 600 is how deep the bench top is. I've already done a little bit of research on that. So we'll have no problem there. My wife's car that she rolls in here, she's got a BMW hatch. There'll be plenty of room that'll fit. You'll be able to park a Commodore or a Falcon still in here, no worries at all, with ample space. Now I've already gone, since I've measured up, I've identified where the studs are in the wall. I've actually already gone and done a little bit of shopping on the Bunnings website, and I'll show you what I use. So basically I've just jumped onto bunnings.com.au, and I'm sure that the Home Depots and the Mitre 10s have all got something similar. I'm just using Bunnings for the sake of the argument. Jump on their page now. We all know with everything these days that you can log in and create an account for basically anywhere you shop. But I've got an account here with Bunnings, and something that I really like, if you see up in the top corner there, they have this thing called projects. And if I click on project list, you'll see here that you can save all projects in. So what I've currently got going here is I've named it the outdoor laundry, and then I can just go through and I can add basically all the things that I need to buy. So what I'm going to run with here in this case is I'm going to do 900mm Kaboodle cabinets. So I've got remember I'm working in with a 2 meter space. So I've got 900mm wall cabinets. I'm going to run 2 of those. I'm going to do those side by side. And then I've ordered the cabinet doors for those as well. In there, I've added that to my list. I'm going to go with just the standard door hinges this time around. I've got soft close inside the house, but if you're out in the garage, the standard door hinge will be fine. They're about $60 cheaper than the soft close. I've got a kickboard for the bottom underneath the base cabs. I've got a base wall end, and I've got some handles, and I've put in the bench top because they're the things I know I want to do. Now I've still got to obviously put in some more pieces there. I've got to put in the base cabs. But what I want to do with the base cabinets, it always looks better if you use the same size doors and that you do with the bottom of the cabinets to your wall cabinets that you put at the top, and you try and run the lines straight. This will make more sense as I start building it, but if you use different door sizes, it can come out looking like a bit of a dog's breakfast. So we want to make sure that we can stick to that as best as possible. It's not always practical, but in this case, I'm going to stick to 450mm doors, so I can keep it all looking nice and neat and aesthetically pleasing. So I'll add the last few things to my list for the base cabinets. I've measured up. I'm where I need to be. The trailer's on, ready to go. So we'll hit the hardware store all prepared. Let's go. Righto, so we're back from Bunnings. We've got all the Kaboodle flat packs that we need. We've got a hardwood top. We've got all the hinges. We've got all the handles. We're good to go. So what we need to have a bit of a look at now is some tools that we're going to need for the job. So what I've got here, I've got an impact driver or a drill, cordless one. This is a Ryobi 1+ range. I've got most of my tools now. I've moved over to Ryobi, easy to get from Bunnings, etc. With a 5 amp battery. Got that with a Phillips head bit in it. So I like to run a short one for doing most of the stuff, and then when you get the hard reach places, I've got a longer extension Phillips head that goes into the drill. So that's probably the #1 tool you'll need for the job. I've got a circular saw, a Bosch one today, a corded one, probably one of the few corded tools that I do have left. We're going to need that for cutting the hardwood top to size. We've got a Phillips head screwdriver. Sometimes you just want to be a bit more delicate with some of the hinges and make sure you get the, you can feel the torque a little bit better when you're turning it by hand. So I always have a Phillips head screwdriver. We've got a set square or a 90 degree, using that for making sure that our cabinets are nice and at right angles, and we're where we need to be from a levels point of view. We do have a spirit level, Stanley one, Fat Max in this case. I think I've had this for over a decade. Absolutely brilliant piece of equipment. This will make sure that our wall cabinets are nice and level, that our bench tops are level, etc. We've got a laminate saw. So what is a laminate saw, you say? So you'll see that the teeth are really, really fine on the saw. Got some laminate on the kickboard to cut through, and these saws make sure you don't sort of rip the laminate as you cut through it. You can also do it with your power saws, but I like to use the hand saw for the finer jobs. Saw it earlier, we've got the stud finder for making sure that we hit the studs in the wall and not just go into plaster. That would be a disaster. Pencil, can never have too many. You've got hundreds kicking around the shed. You'll need that. Bit of PVA glue or accurate here to help with the bench top down to the base cabs. We've already gone through that we needed our measuring tape, so we've got that there as well. And another thing you'll need is some clamps. So clamps come in really handy, holding the wall cabs together, holding the base cabs together. You can never have too many hands. Make sure you get a really nice job. And of course, not doing the job without music. So we've got our little shed radio as well. So now that we've gone through the two tools, let's have a bit of a look at some of these base cabs together and getting the project underway. So that wraps up part one of the outdoor laundry build. If you liked the video, I'd really appreciate a like. And if you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe. That would be great too. It really helps me keep making a bit more content, get the videos out, gives me a bit of motivation. I'll see you in the next video where we're going to pick up building the base cabs.